Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to tell you fairy tales. I have a fairy tales category, and today's theme is African theme. I'm going to share with you three African fairy tales. The first fairy tale is quite short, and its name is Silly Wife. So there was a wife and husband long time ago, and the husband was good enough, smart, but his wife was stupid. This is exactly translation how it's right. She was quite stupid. So the husband left the house to bring some stuff from the bazaar, and the wife accidentally, or because she was stupid, no, she burned her house. All the neighbors around it come to help her in order to off the fire, but the fire didn't off, and her house burned out completely. And the people start to come to her and tell her, oh, sorry that your house was burned. And all she was asking, please don't tell to my husband. Please don't tell to my husband. So this is the short story. The story is, while I was reading the story and the fairy tale, I was thinking what benefit I'm having from this. Normally, fairy tales, they should have a benefit, If you have any idea or you got a benefit from this short story about the silly wife, you need to comment it, because I didn't come up with nothing. This is the first story. Let's talk about the second one. The second fairy tale, its name is Three Thieves. So, once upon a time, there was a beautiful country. In that beautiful country, there was one rich man. And he had a lot of wheat, he had a lot of sheep, he had a lot of cows, he had a lot of camels. Overall, he was quite rich. So, once he left his house, three thieves entered to his house in order to steal what he had in his house, obviously. And after that, they took what's necessary, and they ran away very far. And on the way, they find the place, they sat there, they keep the items, and they even stole animals. But I was thinking, if they stole the animals, how they will run far away with those animals. Animals will not run that much, especially, for example, cow. That's the beauty in the fairy tales. You can imagine and do unlogic imagination here. Anyway, so they sat, and they got hungry. And one of the thieves told to another one, said, we're hungry here. Can you go to the city and bring something to eat? So we're going to kill our hunger. And then he said, that thief who was addressed to go, he said, okay, no problem, I will go. So he got the money, what he was stolen from that house. He went to the bazaar, and on the way, he was thinking a plan. While he was thinking a plan, this thief who went to the bazaar in order to bring the food, another two thieves who remained at the place, they start to make their own plan. They said, let us kill the third thief who went to the bazaar to bring the food, and all the stolen items are going to be ours, so we don't have to share. And they agreed that once he comes, they're going to kill that thief. And that thief, as I said, on the way also, he was making his own plans. He was planning, A, he's going to buy a food, B, he's going to buy a poison, and C, he's going to poison the food and going to feed those two thieves which were hungry and waiting for him. So once he purchased everything which is required, he came back to the place, but immediately those two thieves caught him, and they killed him. And after killing him, they were hungry, obviously, and they ate all the food, and the food was poisoned. and all thieves die, which went to the bazaar in order to bring the food. He was killed by two thieves, and those two thieves also die because they eat the poisoned food. And whatever left was returned to the rich men. So here we can make a conclusion, nice conclusion. So even thinking of the thieves, it's bad, whatever you're going to turn. If you make a nice conclusion about this story, please share your thoughts in the comments. And now we're going to talk about the last fairy tale. The name of our third fairy tale is The Present or Gift. So once upon a time, there was a farmer. He was a really hard-working farmer. I just want to highlight this point because they use, I'm translating from my language, obviously, but this word is like extremely hardworking. I don't know what will be in English, but it's like he was really fanatic of his work, hardworking. So this farmer, he was working in his garden, and then among his bushes and tomatoes, he found pumpkin. But this pumpkin was an unusual pumpkin among all pumpkins he used to plant or grow. It was extremely huge. So, and then he was so much excited that he really wanted to give this pumpkin to the ruler of the city. And he wanted to show how much he was proud, what kind of pumpkin he got in his garden, unusual one. It was quite big. And he took that pumpkin and he went to the castle where this ruler of the city used to live. And he showed the ruler, and the ruler, he said like, "Oh, bravo, good one, you have a good job," and all the stuff. And in order to thank him, also ruler, he was a very high etiquette person, as here describing. He ordered to his assistant to bring for this farmer one of his best horse, which is available. And the farmer, he could not even imagine that the ruler going to be that much generous, because the farmer, he just want to give the pumpkin. So he got the horse, and this news spread all over the city that this farmer, he got an unusual pumpkin, and he went and he gave to the ruler, and the ruler, he, in order to thank him, or just, good gesture, he gifted to this farmer the horse. And this news spread fast, and it came to the ear of one rich man. But that rich man, he wasn't, he was a sly. And then he started to think. He said, "Okay, I'm not a farmer, I am a rich man, and I don't have a pumpkin, but I have a horse. So if I'm going to take best of my horses, what I have, to the ruler, what he's going to give to me." So he was expecting something extraordinary. So he took to his horse and he went to the castle, and he said to the ruler, he presented, he said, "This is one of my best horses, please take it." And the ruler, he was looking at him, and he asked his assistant to bring that pumpkin which prior that farmer he brought. That's the end of story. So the conclusions, again, we need to make a conclusions that don't be sly, don't be foxy, nothing works in this manner, that you can see here what is its planet nicely, the bad stuff, and here it's coming from your heart, the gesture. Or if you have another opinion about this fairy tale, please drop your comments. I understand that the first one, silly wife, it's more for laughing, but the rest two, three thieves, and the gift is more for us teaching something. Obviously, fairy tales mostly done for the kids, but also they shared among the adults. And like 1001 Nights fairy tales, they are more, I believe the fairy tales are more to adults rather than children, because these fairy tales also shared among places where used to people gather, where they used to drink coffee and tea and so on and share the stories. Hope you like these 3 fairy tales. Thank you so much for listening to me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Bye bye.